Welcome back. Today we're going to be dealing with variables and also printing out variables. We're going to make a class called addition, and it's going to add two numbers and print out the sum. So, like any other class that we make, we need to start with public class, the name of the class, which is in this case addition, curly brace, and we're going to indent by pressing twice on the space key. Then we're going to make our main method, so public static void main parenthesis string square brace args for arguments, curly brace, enter space 4 times. And now we're going to make our variable. There are a few different types of variables that we can use. For this program we're going to be working with integers, also known as ints in Java. Integers are your whole numbers, so no decimal values. So int, we're going to give it the name num1 equals, we're going to make this one be 3, and semicolon. Press enter, space 4 times to line it up. We're going to make another integer, so int num2 equals 4. Make one more num, so int sum equals num1 plus num2. Again, semicolon. Now, to be able to see that we've done it correctly, we want to print out the result. So, like we did in our Hello World program, we're going to make use of system.out.println. So, system.out.println. This one's going to be a little bit more complicated than what we did for Hello World. A few more steps. So we have our parenthesis and our quote for the text that we want to print. So the first thing we're going to write is the value of num1 is, and close our quote. The important thing to note is that this is not going to be our value here. It is simply text that we're writing. Now, to make use of the value that we have, we do the plus sign. This is called concatenating. It's joining together as one string. So the value of num1 is, now we make use of the variable num1 plus, and we're going to just get down to the next line to make use of the space that we have, and I just indent the line to line up with what we have. So then we open up the quote again, and we're going to use a new line character, so that's your \n, and then the value of num2 is, and this should look very similar to what we did above, num2 plus, again, very similar to what we did before. And now we are going to print out the sum. So again, new line character. The sum of num1 and num2 is sum. Close off the parenthesis, have a semicolon, press enter, and notice that it's a little bit off our screen, so we're just going to back that up a little bit to make that in line with that. Okay, we're back down here. Let's see, now line it up with system.out.println. It should again have 4 spaces. And we want to close off our main method, so we actually only want 2 spaces. Close the curly brace, press enter, close that curly brace, and then we need to come over here and save our document. So save as, we're going to give it the same name as the class name, so addition.java. Again, it's very important to have the .java there. Let's press save, and again, I've already made it, but we'll just replace it. Okay, now we are going to run it from the terminal. So again, make sure that you have the right path. I have already done that, so we are going to now compile the file that we've just made. So again, to compile, we do java c space the name of the file .java. Notice that there are no errors, so we can now run our program. So java addition, enter. And notice that we have it printing out. We have the value of num1 is 3, value of num2 is 4, the sum of num1 and num2 is 7, which if you look at what we wanted to print, we have the value of num1 is, the value of num1 is, then we call the variable num1 right here. So instead of printing out the word num1, it prints out the value, in this case 3. Similarly with num2, it says the value of num2 is, the value of num2 is, then the value, it actually makes use of the value of the variable by calling this variable. And then finally, to print out the sum, we have the sum of num1 and num2 is sum. And there we go. We've made use of our addition, and that's how it works.